Hey guys! So for today's video, I want to show you what I kept in my teacher bag. Through the whole school year, I kind of curated this bag. I first started using it when I was student teaching, and then I also kept using it while I was substitute teaching. And most of the things stayed the same that went into this bag. Now, this bag I got from TJ Maxx, and it was on clearance. And I got it for like $25. And this bag has lasted really well. I'm really surprised, especially with these handles. They're a little bit like smaller, and I was just waiting for them to snap because there were some days that I carried so much stuff in this bag, but it held up really well. So getting on to it, what do we have in this bag? Starting off in the front pocket here, usually I will keep two things: my cell phone for easy access, and then this little black book. So this is the book that I kept all of my subbing assignments in. This is the book that I used to keep track of where I was going, what teacher I was subbing for, how much I was getting paid for that day. Pretty much just everything with subbing went into this. And now there is an online version of this, like there's an official site that all the subs go through in the area, and I could have used that. However, at most of the schools I don't get service, like I don't get internet, I don't get Wi-Fi. So if like a teacher were to come up to me or a principal and be like, hey, can you sub this day? I have no way to check it on my phone because I can't get onto the internet. But with a paper version, I can just open it up and be like, oh yeah, I'm free this day, I can come sub for you. So I wanted to keep that handy. The first thing I'm going to pull out is my water cup. I always take one of these big tumblers. This one happens to be from Starbucks, but I always take one of these to fill up on water. Next thing is I always have some kind of notebook. This happens to be the one that's in there now. Most of the notebooks that I've kept in there are smaller notebooks, and I actually have gone through 2 smaller notebooks now, so I'm out of small notebooks and onto the bigger ones. And in this I just keep notes for the teacher, things that were going on for the day. Yeah, that's about it. Just notes for the teacher, and if I need to make a list at some point during the day. Next thing, a book. I always have a book with me. Usually this will come in handy in the high school ages, just because usually you're just giving them a worksheet to work on, so you want to keep yourself busy. So this is the book I happen to have in there right now. This is called Haroun and the Sea of Stories by Salman Rushdie. Actually, I was supposed to read this in college, and I only read through half of it. And one of my friends was like, oh my gosh, it's my favorite book that we read all semester. And I was like, ha, I can't know because I didn't finish it. Surprise. So I finally took this opportunity to finish the book, and it was okay. Unpopular opinion, it was just alright. Anyway, moving on. Okay, wallet. Oh, I have this. This is from the Dollar Tree. I wanted to get something for when I started subbing that was like big and obnoxious as to use as a hall pass, because not all classes will have a hall pass in there. And if there wasn't a hall pass in the class, I could be like, here, take this. And yeah, so that's why there's a beach toy in my bag. Next thing is I have this little pouch, and this holds my jump drive and my headphones, a couple of extra bobby pins, and a hair tie. I always have mints or gum because I'm terrified of being that gross sub with bad breath. So I always have mints or gum in my bag. I have an external battery, and my phone's plugged in with it right now, but usually my phone charger cord is in my bag as well, because my phone likes to die because it's old and cannot make it through the day without it. Oh, I also always keep my phone in my bag because not all of the schools, like I'm not familiar with all of the schools and the areas, so I need to use Google Maps a lot to get myself there and back home. Okay, pro tip here, when you are subbing, I don't know if I've mentioned this in another video, but when you are subbing, I highly, highly recommend that you take your own lanyard. A lot of the schools will have you wear a lanyard with a visitor badge or a substitute badge on it, and usually that's where I would get like the classroom key too. Like it would be on the lanyard with the key and then your substitute badge. Okay, I didn't even think about it. Nobody ever said anything to me, but those badges, those lanyards are communal and all the subs wear them. And one day I wore the communal badge and I got a huge rash. Like, I'm not kidding. It went all the way around my neck where the lanyard was, and then it started crawling up my jaw, and it was like all around my jaw, and then it went like up my face to my forehead. It was so gross. And I was so scared that it was like fungal or something like bad, and I went to the doctor and she's like, no, it just looks like you had an allergic reaction. So probably someone was wearing like some cologne or some soap that I was allergic to, which is weird because I've never come into contact with like anything like that I'm allergic to. So I highly recommend that you take your own lanyard and just switch them out. I always have a carabiner on it and like one of those little rings, and you can just switch out the badge and the key for the day and then wear your own lanyard. Like, oh my gosh, please don't wear those communal lanyards. They're so gross. And I didn't even think about it until that happened, and I was like, wow, this is really gross. Anyway, moving on. I have a change purse that just keeps all my extra change in case like I want to get a pop or something from the vending machine. I have, oh, excuse me. I have 2 pouches. This one keeps things like Post-it notes, a couple of extra dry erase markers, because there have been some classrooms that don't have dry erase markers. So if I like need to write stuff on the board or need to write my name or something, I have them. So then I also have my Post-its, and this is also where I keep my whiteout and my extra lead for my mechanical pencil, which I will show you where that is in just a second. It is in here. This is where all of my pens and pencils are. I don't know why I feel like I have to keep them separate, but I do. So in this one, I just have a giant eraser, because usually I find myself erasing, like I'll use pencil to take attendance on seating charts, and then the teachers don't really want those like written on, so I just erase. So I need a big eraser for that. And then I have pens galore, and there's a pencil in there. In my, I don't know if you guys noticed, but in this substitute teaching book, hang on, let me get to my fake one. Okay. It's color coded. Each school has a different color so that I know, I can tell like which paycheck I'm working with and stuff like that. So like one is orange and blue and pink. So I always keep like all of the pens, oh my god, all of the pens that I used for that color coding system in my bag, so that like if I happen to like need to schedule or something, it's there and I can. And the last thing in here is this. This is my bag. This is like my bag of personal stuff. Things that I have in here: tissues, hand lotion, hand sanitizer. I've got my trusty C.O. Bigelow Rose salve, however you want to say it. This travel brush, a nail file. I have some emergency makeup in case I ever need to do my makeup while I'm at school. A flosser. I have some Band-Aids, a rag to clean my glasses with, some Tums, some ibuprofen, and some vitamin B12. And then the last couple things is I have a nail file and some tweezers. That is everything I have in my bag. Some of this stuff, like, you guys might not feel like you need, but it works for me because it just makes me have some peace of mind when I'm traveling to different schools, and it just makes me feel comfortable. Okay, well that's all I have for you guys. So I hope you like this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!